Hey guys, Josh here again with Windy City Equipment, back with an all-new series. I've actually been getting a lot of requests to talk about this, so hopefully you all enjoy this new series. I'm going to be talking a lot about PM contracts, preventative maintenance. Sorry, lights are on an automatic timer. Anyway, talking about PM contracts, preventative maintenance. We all know the point, right? We all know the point of preventative maintenance in any industry for any piece of equipment, and that is to prolong the life expectancy of that piece of equipment, all right? Maintaining your assets, which is great, and that is absolutely, bar none, the whole reason that we do PMs to begin with. But I think before I kick this off, it's important that you know both sides' expectations, a service company and a customer, end user. Okay, so let's start with the end user. In the end user's mind, right, they're paying for a service for a company to come out, clean all of the coils, change the filters, get rid of all the crap, make sure that all of these pieces of equipment are running up to manufacturer specifications. This is what they're paying for, and this is the expectation. Now, it's a good expectation. It's perfectly reasonable, to have that in your head as the reason to do this in the first place. But there's something that you should also know. We're seeing in this industry these prices for the preventative maintenance being driven down and down and down, because people are finding more and more ways to take shortcuts, and really there's a huge problem, which I talk a little bit more about in my podcast, the Perception Evolution Project. But it is an issue, because customers are wanting to pay less and less, and service companies are accommodating that. But I mean, it's just a basic rule of business, right? I mean, you can't pay less and get more. You can't pay less and get the same. You pay less to get less, and that's really what it all boils down to. Problem being is the companies out there that actually want to spend the time and do these PMs correctly can no longer make money when being compared to another company that's doing it for next to nothing. Now, I have my own opinions as to how this evolved throughout the years, but the bottom line is, service companies are having to find more creative ways to make sure that they're not losing money on these PMs, because time is time and time is money, right? So anyway, from an end user perspective, yes, it is about maintaining those assets and prolonging the life and, making sure they're running up to manufacturer specifications. From a service company's point of view, it is also the same thing, but because service companies can't lose money, otherwise everybody would be out of business, right? They have to find other ways to compensate for that lost revenue. And, one of those ways is using PMs as a sales generation. Now, there's a fine line to walk here, because I'm not saying that, anyone's selling anything that somebody doesn't need. I'm just saying that, there's a bigger emphasis being put on preventative maintenance these days to find and rectify problems, which is good and bad. I mean, ultimately, it's good for the end user, right? Because you want to be able to find these problems before they become bigger problems, render the equipment useless and take your operation down on a Friday or Saturday night. Don't want to do that at all. But there's also an element of surprise, when the end user sees all these quotes being put through, for things that are working perfectly fine, or seemingly at least. So I think it's important for both sides to know the expectations. End users expect a lot of quotes, expect a lot of recommendations, quotes and recommendations that you're going to have to pay for, okay? Time and material as quoted. And service companies expect to have to almost lose money on these PMs initially, until there can be another shift in the industry, and those prices get driven back up. But until then, prices are going to be down, and that's just the way it is. So the objective of a PM ultimately is to prolong these assets, but there needs to be a set expectation on both sides. Uh, know what you're getting, know what to expect, uh, and be fair. All right. So with that being said, I will have much more content and episodes pertaining to these PM contracts moving forward. I've got a good 7 or 8 in the queue, so make sure to subscribe below if you haven't already. Make sure to check out our newest our newest podcast, Perception Evolution Project. There'll be a link below to that as well. And sign up for our newsletter to see everything that WCE is doing from all corners. All right. Anyway, thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next week.